Hey, it's AP Experiment. Welcome back to Rainbow Six Extraction. I just wanted to show off this crazy little gunfight I got into. I don't know, I went into a solo incursion because I'm back to, really trying to hone my skills and get myself back into game shape, as at least that's what I like to call it. But, get myself back prepped for Maelstrom Protocol, back into the flow of things. I haven't really been able to finish a solo incursion in a good while now, just because I took far too long away from the game. And I got the opportunity to basically fight two proteins in this one, where basically I did the hunt first, and then if I would have made it to the if I make it to the third section, I would be fighting through the gateway. And I got revived Archeans, which I absolutely hate. It's literally my worst enemy, just because my accuracy is a bit off, and I do have to get that back right. I have to really go back to playing with my settings and just figuring it back out. Of course, I remembered that the laser can kill them when I do down them, so that's the good part. So I am abusing that and using that in this gameplay, but I was also trying to be very careful. I didn't want to just, be reckless. Now, once I figured out that I was doing revived Archeans, because sometimes when I'm queuing, I don't really exactly pay attention to the anything besides the missions, but I actually realized it was revived Archeans almost the moment that I saw the purple fuzz, because I have played the game enough to recognize it. And of course, this being a critical run, I saw that it was Tormentors, so I assumed it was going to be either an Apex that I would be fighting, an Elite Apex, or a Protean. Sadly, it was the latter. I really hate fighting the Proteans in the hunt, especially at the beginning of the incursion, just because it does make it very much more difficult. The Storm Spikers did not help by any means. They are very much a pain. They really did not help at all. Oh no, they were normal Spikers. Never mind. The pink around them was from the revived Archeans. But Spikers definitely never help, just because they do have a bit of aimbot sometimes. Not all the time, but a good amount of times they have it. And then of course, the Tormentors are ultra aggressive since it is a hunt. Look at that. I got elbowed, bruh. I literally felt like LeBron James going to the basket. it just it was crazy. But of course, I'm clearing them out. I'm kind of moving back and forth. I have 69 health at this point, so I'm like, all right, let me just move a little bit more strategic. Let me get some high ground. Just kind of move slow. Again, I'm trying to work my way through it, and I'm trying to really not lean back into my tendency of using all my guns in burst mode, just because I do want to really get that my ultimate feel back for the game. And if I go back into burst mode, I'll get a little bit too comfortable in burst mode, and that'll become my new comfort zone. I really am trying to focus on using every gun in its fully automatic form. I also have been making sure to try to mess around in Siege, just to also give me some good feels for the guns and things of that nature. Just to begin, since this is a Rainbow Six Siege game, the gun feels are pretty much all the same. Dodging the Archean bullets, I'm still good at that. I still have my little matrix dodging for the most part. I mean, every now and again I get hit, but I still have the feel, which is very, very good. I also know, the target angles, which is good. I'm very happy about that. Of course, I am very bad at using the Bearing 6 or the SMG-11 for that matter. Its recoil is insane. I should have put that in burst mode personally. I wasn't thinking at the time, just because I believe the SMG-11 doesn't allow you to switch modes, but the Bearing 9 does. And I should have switched that over to burst, because that would have been very helpful. Or no, actually I did. I did switch to single fire eventually, but it just it's just look at this. It just takes so much more to get it. Even though I do need it for the recoil sake, it's just so much slower. So much slower. But of course, I worked around. I realized it was a Protean. I had already just seen it. So now I was trying to move very, very cautious. The Proteans outside of the gateway are actually much more aggressive than the Proteans in the gateway, which is crazy when you think about it. because like the Protean's in the gateway. That's literally like their home base. That's literally like their like home space. But outside, for some reason, whenever they're in like a hunt, they are so much more aggressive. They are so much more like persistent, and they basically spend the entire time just chasing you down while all the other Archeans are also doing so. Like they are just, it's very annoying. And again, the Tormentors were not letting up. I think there was like at least 10 to 15 Tormentors. Eventually got to the point where I'm like, alright, well, I'm not going to be able to fight everything. Let me just scamper out of here. So that's exactly what I did. I kind of just took the floor route, realized I was back by the door, cut out, got to about 6% health, realized it was urgent, ran through everything, got up out of there because I just had to. But yeah, it's been AP Experiment, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Prepare for extraction.
Everyone here on the Pioneer could use